sorry for the messing around and stuff that was going on. Absolutely rocking. I just had to make you do that. You're mates with all the guys.
But yeah, and then just backing up, I'm signaling to my son out the front that I'm going to shut this off. I'm on the radio, so I'm shutting it off because the dash went out again.
Yeah.
Blew another fuse, which one?
So it's a fuse issue.
All the wiring. These cars have kilometres of wiring on them, which is a data loggers and control system.
Isn't that cool, Phil? See the way South Aussie fans have been there? It's all standing up and putting their hands together. And that kind of stuff as a driver must give you chills, mate.
It does. I had this happen in Darwin where you retire and the crowd were going. Nobody likes to see damage. Called a boombox, which is all the wires you need to replace.
Okay.
Because we've got to turn these cars around so
Of them right now, and we saw earlier on Wayne Newby put a pretty impressive rundown actually, considering he shut off early, and then Damien Harris, the defending champ. This is number 1 and number 2 in the championship last year. The laptop gets cleared. They did a fire up earlier on, and God, the crowds around the fire ups have been absolutely mega down there in the pits. And that's one of the incredible things about this sport. You imagine just rolling into Monaco and standing at the very back of Williams or something like that and watching them fire up the engine?
Yep.
Yeah, right. So there you go, a pair of magnetos. We need 2 of them. We are burning so much fuel, there is so much energy, we need 2 magnetos just to fire these things.
And that's where a lot of the horsepower comes from in these cars. You know, nitromethane on its own is a good horsepower maker because it carries its own oxygen, but you've got to be able to light that oxygen. You've got to be able to burn it, and that's where those big magnetos come in. They're a beast of a car. There is no getting around that. These things it's like taking a sledgehammer to knock a nail in. It is absolutely incredible what these guys are able to do in terms of dialing the cars in. But again, when we touch on the conditions that we've got, there is no cloud cover whatsoever. There's no relief from this sun. There's no getting around the track around the fact that the track is a little bit warm at the moment. So these guys will be trying to really back these cars down just to get them through that.
But as the season wore on and we came back here, you ended up with a PB.
Yeah, we went 378. I mean, this place is killer. It's like a billiard table out there. It's nice and smooth. But yeah, no, we were in
But it was after the finish line. 413 at just a tick over 433 k's per hour. 413, 433. He did get the wall down.
It's a 4:02 with a 476 kph. That thing was boogieing. Put your hands together for New Zealander Morris McMillan. The boys will be happy with that.
Over near the centre line, no problem. He gets it down the line and gets it down the track, and he goes to the.
Drivers that are a little bit more experienced, they'll actually hang back and let the guy go in the other lane. If you give them that another lane by themselves and give them that extra space, so it's not a disrespect thing. I know that Daniel Gregorini did it last year with Adam Tassoni. He said, no, go by yourself afterwards, just to make sure that there's no interaction between the two of them down the racetrack. And I would think that Abel, he wants to get down the racetrack as well. You know that Marty out of South Australia, Marmalade right here in Adelaide. He wants to just get a good run at this Shelby and just get some confidence back. And that's an issue that getting him to leave the line.
Yeah, he did not need to get really on the start line in the test session this morning. I think just went straight up to the tyre smoke. And hopefully they've got it sorted, they've got it back down up, because although on paper drag racing was really easy, it's, you go up there, you stage the car and you put it down the racetrack. The amount of technology that is in these cars these days make it so difficult. You need to have all of the stars aligned just to make a representative on a little over record run, which is, when you see those 560s and 550s, it makes it all the more impressive.
Watching Caduli and jumping out here, all sorts of chaos going on. Oh my gosh, they're monotone jeans. Let's just put it that way. Abel in the left-hand lane. And Marty in the right-hand lane. So the Northern Territory and South Australia. And we'll get it home with a 6:25 and a 7. And it was a busy drive.
Yeah.
Still, Marty with some issues in that beautiful Reed's Transport. Lisa Gregorini to join the arena. She'll gas her up and massive logo on the grill. Just right off the crew member, just launched that baseball hat. Oh, I hope we can get a replay of that.
Certainly can't miss it, that's for sure.
That's Zach's fiance running down the left-hand side, down the relatively non-sticky part of the racetrack.
Now, I'm not saying he's back in Will Corner yet, but John Xavier did not have the start to the season that he wanted this morning. He blew the tyres off with the hit, straight up admitted it, that just missed the setup, just overpowered the racetrack. But a John Xavier who's just a little bit cranky with the ball. He's a very dangerous John Zappia in terms of racing. He's not a guy that takes lightly to getting it wrong. And look, more often than not, I think it speaks for itself, his history and his record, that he gets it right more often than he gets it wrong. And that's going to be difficult, to say the least, for some of the competitors here this weekend.
The thing is a 400 per hour billboard.
Yep.
John Zappia, very, very good at the corporate side of things. Chevy, have to bring Lisa Gregorini in. Bryony Ingerson famously said, "You go, girl," back in Sydney when Lisa took on Zapp and amazingly took him down in the Nitro Chance. What an incredible event that was. But Zapp, as you said, when his back's against the wall, you know he'll do something remarkable. He's been in this situation here before as well, and he's come powering back. Qualifying Group 1 for top door slammer. 12 cars here. We've got more to come as the season wears on. Put your head good and it's Sassoni, folks, as he rolls by you as well. Always on the gas is Sassoni. What can Zach do? Oh, 575 against the 572. Zap is quicker with 402. Cakes this morning, but they were green. Ah, yes. Yeah, the frog cakes matches Daniel's car, not the orange, so there's going to be trouble. That's the green and orange thing. If you roll into one side that fits with the orange with you on not the green one, it really gets some stuff going. Yeah, Peter Lovering son Cruz actually took a photo wearing Lisa Gregorini's hoodie last night and sent it to his dad. I think Peter's now been beaten by Lisa 6 times. And again, the whole team, including Pete, has to wear Lisa's merch. Peter's a brand new body on that car now, and it's almost ready for this weekend. They had to wait to get ready for that next round.
I think we'll have a little bit of motivation, Jerry Callahan making his first full season in top door slammer this season. Doing all right too. Yeah, all the rounds. And he's putting into this car, and he's not looking to go in faster. He's got a lot of racing, a lot of different classes over the years, but this car is just so close, and it's been great. But he's got a pretty tough one here with Daniel Gregorini, who's been one of the front runners in top door slammer for so long. Such an impressive race resume when you look at it on paper. He has done so much, and by the look of it, I think Daniel Callahan, Jeremy Callahan might have just rolled in too deep there.
Yeah, and it's all Cruz Lovering at champion left foot. He nearly rolled a wrist foot. Like that, coming close. And he's been pretty good. He's been loving the Facebook Live production down there. It's like the Steven Spielberg of Facebook Live. He's been in and out. Gregorini. Covered everybody at the end. 566 with an 8. Come on, folks, put your hands together.
Chris's car, they're trying to get the car fired down there, and I don't know that they're having a lot of luck with a lot of frantic work going on.
Jack Capuchar right in the middle of it. We're seeing Carboni roll out. Power play entry. This is where they're right there. That's right, man.
There was not a lot of throttle stop on that for Carboni.
Sound like it zinged a bit at the end too.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to come back as a valve spring in your next life, that is for sure.
Especially not on a Tassoni or Carboni. They love the bottom of the throttle. That thing took a while to pull up as well. Zinc issues at all for Pat.
We're getting, looks like we're getting the single run sign down here for Pat Carbone, so Kapiris unfortunately not able to fire.
Man.
That's one of the things with drag racing, you've got to be able to fire when called upon, and if you cannot start the car, turn around and get it out of here, there's always someone lined up to go next.
Good news is that Pat is rolling back now and will hopefully get a crack at this, but Peter Kapiris, 60 years of age. Market Gardner, he and his brothers, the Kapiris brothers, and Jason Cunliffe, engine side of things for them, and of course Jim Papajar working on this team. He missed pretty well every round except for the first one when he ran here after a dirt bike accident. So it's so good to have Pete back. Folks, why don't you put your hands together for one of the absolute gods of drag racing, John Zappia, as he rolls back by you on the return road. That thing just looks fast sitting still, doesn't it? It's an icon of the sport, and I venture to say there are two iconic West Australian cars in
absolutely fantastic. So Carboni going on a solo pass here with the pedal play. Kamara.
I see him get a good run here. Really would like to build his own confidence and give the class the run that he wants as well. It's good at the deep end though.
Yeah, it is.
6:05.
Yeah, that is right on the money. 6:05 at 300.
That was interesting. I don't know if I've ever noticed it before when they do it all the time, but Morris actually got a complete stop through the water. And then he stepped aside and said go. As opposed to Russell who rolled straight through. That way.
There's a few guys who do it that way. With a 1, I think he goes to the.
So we'll have a look and see, is it Sutton? You prefaced it earlier that he might get a run. Because there was an issue earlier with the tree which wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I would expect the world's shortest burnout here for Andrew Sutton. He'll probably just roll it straight in because the thing's already got plenty of heat in it from his earlier. Reasonably, yeah, longer than I expected it to be. But Andrew Sutton, hopefully he has no problems this time around and he can put this thing in the beams and get a result because he deserves it after everything he's done to get this car on the racetrack. As he touched on, races out of Alice Springs in Northern Territory, but soon to be relocated as a Queenslander. Yeah, a lot of the time for drag racing purposes, so they can be closer to the centre of the action, for lack of a better term.
Got the family operation going, that's for sure. And Ryan, son is on the crew as well. The blacksmith in, reflex suction trainer. Gotta love the crew shirts too. They really do reflect the sponsorship on that car. So, right hand lane. On his own, Andrew Sutton.
Breathing.
53 minutes.
Breathing very heavily, you can see coming out of the breather there. I'd say it's because they didn't need here. It's what he's done. It didn't look like it was going to stick. That was shaking right from the get-go, but it still went down. 105 to the 60 full-timers. They'll learn more from that than
Kim Fardella down here in the Summit Racing lane, about to come out with their second qualifier.
We'll keep an eye on these guys. Kim coming over from Manjip in Western Australia, the Ford ED Falcon driver in, of course, Group 2 E-Gas, and it's an index racing coming out, but this is, of course, qualifying up against Darren Gay from South Maclean in Queensland. We go to the clocks. Does he go quicker? He goes in 8:46, just under the index, not a bad run. And of course, Darren Gay goes a 7:37 on a 7:47 index, both about a tenth up.
Lee Donaldson in the Bullet Race Engineering lane number 1 coming out now. You see the Holden Commodore coming out and right alongside him, the orange BMW M3 of Steve Norman. These two boys both here from Whyalla. Racing for the Whyalla Club.
Okay, let's have a look. Steve Norman from Whyalla, as you were saying, in B modified production automatic. Folks, the engine on board that is a 325 cubic inch small block Chevy, quite heavily modified. It's got all the best heads, 2 carburetors, the roller camshaft, you name it. Best free money can buy for an MP engine that should rev to around about 11,000 RPM, making power all the way to 10,511. We go back over to Lee Donaldson. This class here, the HMSA, H Modified Stock Automatic. These guys here are running in a much more restricted class, and it's for the LS engines, the later model Gen 3 style engine. Carburetor, taken away the fuel injection, they put a carburetor onto the engine. Of course, the roller cam, the aluminium heads, all souped up, but less modification, so they're restricted, not as quick. But we go back to the BMP car of Stevie Norm. 8:55 is his index. Go back to Lee Donaldson, his index is a 9. Red light. We go back to Steve Norman on an 8:55 index. He goes in 8:27. That's 3/10 under, much quicker than the previous Superstock cars. And Lee Donaldson went a 9:40 on a 9:07. So he's 4/10 over the index. Too slow. Come a bit coffee. Okay, and as we continue on, as we continue on out here, there's also a let's have a look. I've got some more information around the place here. Funny car autograph session is happening out the back in the pit areas, right next to the staging lanes at the Andrew Marquee. So folks, if you want to get out there quickly and get a great autograph session out there with the funny car drivers, I suggest you head over right now to the Andrew Marquee next to the staging lanes. You can't miss that. Let's go back now. We're moving on and taking a look at this. A big competition eliminator coming in.
Dragster with the 376 cubic inch Chevrolet powering that one, thanks to Oxley Horvich. And right across his neighbour, I guess you would say, in the Summit Racing lane number 2. This is Matty Forbes coming out from Canadian Victoria, and he's coming out in the Deco Glaze Splashbacks entry. Deco Glaze, a name synonymous with many forms of motorsports, Michael, having supported many classes.
A competition eliminator proudly brought to us this weekend by Borman Turf. Thank you, Mr. Borman. You got the best of turf in town, I can tell you now. All right, going back to competition eliminator, also in the Group 2 index racing as the previous Superstock eliminator. Now back into this one out here, Matt Forbes, D-altered automatic. The index is a 7.67. The Chevy engine's a 347 cube, and right up there we go over to Mitch Oxley in the Dragster. That's a B Dragster automatic, and his index is 720. They want to go under the index to qualify as high as they possibly can, and at the moment, well, we'll keep an eye on this, but I've got a good feeling that Matt Forbes would be the guy that would be going quick in this particular qualifier now, Matt.
To the left, but he kept it under control
and got right out of it too. Have a look at that, just coasting. At the same time, Mitch Oxley's getting pushed away from the start line. A bit of a sad opportunity there for Mitch not to get full out there. And as I was saying, it's a AA machine, so it's got a turbo on board out there. It's
good fun, certainly for all the country music fans. I highly recommend you get along for that. And of course, the drag racing fans, you guys and girls that are here today, make sure you're here because there's plenty more action coming your way as we believe now Peter Pasalides coming into the Bullet Race Engineering lane, Michael.
absolutely Peter's just pulled in through the bleach box of burnout here. He's going to give the engine a bit of a rev up. Let's have a look and see if it just drops a good burnout out here. Now Peter, as you said earlier on, hasn't really put down a good number on paper for qualifying.
No.
Every time he's got out there, something hasn't happened with the race car. Well, the burnout just really went sideways out there, but it got the smoke off the tyres to generate some heat out here, Paris. And Peter out here running on an index of a 6.44, so it's not a slow run. It's going to be quite a quick car to get down to a 6.44 or better.
Yeah, let's see what Pete can do. As we did make mention, he has had a very challenging day, but let's hope he can put it together now, because this really is the final opportunity for him today, as far as today's concerned anyway, I do believe. So
no, there is one more. There'll be one more qualifier. I'm just checking now on our schedule, and he's going to have one more opportunity if he fails this one. But if I know Peter, when he puts his mind to something, obviously he's really got to give it a good shot. His crewman there just finishing off with the rear wheelie bars, checking the heights. Everything on these machines here have to be correct before they get on down the racetrack, Paris.
Yes.
And Peter will be making sure of that. He'll be getting held back by his crew chief. You can see him there in front of the race car. And now I say the car will be ready to go, and he'll bring him in and get the car staged up and ready for a run down the drag strip.
Peter ready to go thanks to Big Stuff EFI Precision Turbo and Race Glide's M&M Transmissions all supporting him this weekend.
Rightio, Peter Pasalides, here's your chance to qualify out here in this particular eliminator in Group 2, the competition eliminator. Rightio, the lights are on. Let's see if he goes for a light. He goes probably one. Is he still pedaling it? No, he's not going to have a quick run down the racetrack. Let's go to the clocks. An 8:60.
Down there, but good to see both him and Mark Hunt on the track. Couple of South Aussies, Mike, and very iconic cars at that. The little gangster of Bob Sherry, the Chevrolet Monza, has been around a while now, thanks to Distinctive Homes and Valvoline Lubricants, of course, supporting him, and a whole host of other sponsors as well. But that car's been around. Everyone knows that car. Also, Mark Hunt coming out from the Ford Pistol as well. A very nicely put together car there. The Summit Racing
Wildest.